Hello everybody, welcome to the Sports 7 video series Winter Edition. Today, with me is Sam, and I'm Tyler, your host. We'd like to start off with a little Olympic hockey. To help us, we're going to bring in our hockey analyst, Matt Goss.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today, Goss.
Thank you, Tyler.
Now, we had a couple of high scores, wouldn't you say, Sam?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Americans won 7-1 against Slovakia. The Russians won 5-2 against Slovenia. And Canada won 3-1 against Norway. So what are your thoughts on this 7-1 American victory against Slovakia?
I think that shows that the United States have put together a good team this year, and that they can potentially make another run at a gold medal game as they did 4 years ago. It was against a team in Slovakia that might not have been as good as some of the other competition they may face, like Canada, Russia, but it still shows that they'll be able to get stuff done, and they came in with a lot of confidence, and that'll only build it.
Yeah, we had a lot of the scoring was widespread. We had Ryan Kesler with a goal and assist, Stastny with 2 goals, Carlson with a goal and assist, and Kesler with a goal and 2 assists also. Now, do you think that it's going to be a problem that with the American team that their number 1 setter is Ryan Kesler?
I think it will be, but I still think he's a very good forward, very good center, and I feel like, they make up for it in what they have on the wings, what they have for it in goal, Jonathan Quick, and what they have for it on defense. People like Brooks Orpik are very solid. They just have a lot of good players. I don't think the centers normally are too big of an issue if you have people surrounding you.
Yeah, it seems like this year the defense is a key for the U.S. Olympic team. Do you think it's a problem though that the players that aren't used to playing with Quick, his aggressive mentality of going after the puck? Do you think that's going to be a little bit of a problem for the defense?
It could be because it might throw them off where they're defending, but I feel like as the games go on, the defense are going to adjust to it. I'm sure a lot of the defensemen have played against him and have seen that kind of play before. And it shouldn't throw them off too much in the long run there.
Okay, so predictions. How far do you think the U.S. is going to go?
I feel like they're going to go. I feel like if they get a medal, they're getting bronze. But I don't think they'll make it into the medal round.
Let's move on to Team Canada quickly. Despite winning 3-1 this morning, many feel like they're the favorite to win the gold. And that they struggled against Norway. How far do you think they could go?
I think Canada being the favorite and the depth that they have in the organization is very strong. Mike Babcock's a fantastic coach, and I feel like they have all the players, all the gold medalists, the leadership in Crosby. They're going to make it to the medal round, in my prediction. But they didn't look too good against Norway, and that could be emotions, that could be nerves coming in as the favorites. But that will subdue within time in a couple games here, and they should come out strong.
Do you think it's just time they need to get together that team and make a really strong gold medal push?
I really do think so because, there's just so much skill there. You're not going to build chemistry the first game you play, but over time, you have people like Crosby, Taves. They might not be used to playing with each other, but as time goes on and as they play a couple games here, they'll really know where each other's at, and they'll be deadly.
So, going to the goaltending situation now for Canada, there's 3 goaltenders trying to get for that starting position. Carey Price, Mike Smith, and Roberto Luongo. Of the 3, Terry Price has a 2.33 goals against average, which is the best. His team, the Canadians, is also the best with a 32-21-6 record. Do you think it is right to have him starting?
I think it is. I think that the time it'll be wrong to put him in is the time where he starts to lose games, he starts to let in a couple goals. He only let in 1 today, so that's a good start for him.
It was a very solid performance.
But I feel like you can't go wrong with either of the 3.
You think they're all worthy?
But I think Carey's obviously a good pick, and he showed it today.
So, predictions for Canada?
Well, I still think they're going to go gold medal, regardless of who's in goal for them. But not gold medal, the gold medal round. Gold medal's a little hard to predict.
Okay. So going to Russia now with the 5-2 win today. Goals by Kovalchuk, Ovechkin, and Malkin. What do you think with them?
They're another big team, and I think it helps that they're playing at home, and that gives them mentality to perform better. And I also predict them going to the medal round with Canada, where I feel that that's going to be a
So you
great,
think
great matchup.
Russia, Canada.
That's what I'm predicting.
So
But
the top line for Russia is Kovalchuk, Ovechkin, and Malkin. Do you think that's the best line in all of this Olympics?
definitely, I mean, you have people like Crosby and Kunitz on in Canada, and they can swap out anyone there, John Tavares, Ryan Getzlaf, but you can't create a line with that depth in Malkin and Ovechkin. They're just two fantastic players that Crosby and Kunitz have great chemistry together, but you just don't match with those two.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that concludes our Olympic hockey.
Thanks for having me.
Come again.
Try.
So Sam, let's talk about a little bit about spring training baseball. By now, most of the teams are reported. Some still a little bit of an outliers. So what are your predictions on, let's say, the NL East?
The NL East. I would probably say the Braves are the strongest team. The Nationals could definitely be contending for the title, but I think the Braves are just too complete of a team, as we saw last year, and there wasn't much. They didn't lose many players last year. Chipper Jones retired, but at his age last year, he wasn't exactly that great as is.
I'm just not sure they have the pitching to get them through. Their offense is clearly one of the best in the league, but their pitching is probably their weak point. And as we all know, pitching wins in this league.
Yeah. Other than the Nationals, I just don't think their division's that strong, and their hitting is just so good. They should be able to pull them forward to the first place.
So now, predictions on the NL Central.
The Cardinals. They
Obviously.
most complete team in all of the division. They don't really have a weakness. They have one of the best pitching staffs, one of the best offenses. They got better defensively with some of their shifts they did in the infield. Every other team has weak spots but the Cardinals.
Now, do you think this division is going to be as tight as it was last year, the 3-team race going into September?
I don't think the division race will be that tight, but I can definitely see a three-way for the second place between the Cardinals, Reds, and Brewers, or the Reds, Brewers, and Pirates. They're all about the same in terms of strength, I think.
Yeah, about all those teams basically gone back. The Brewers, the Pirates, the Reds have all kind of taken a step back. Who would you say this year? And then the Cardinals are the only ones that really made any improvements, if any.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what are your predictions on the NL West?
The NL West? Dodgers. With Yasiel Puig being another year older, he's just going to probably get even better. I think Matt Kemp will have a bounce back year, coming back from injury. Their pitching is just amazing, historically good. I don't really see any other team giving them a chance to lose.
So my predictions, AL East. I'm kind of feeling the Boston Red Sox are going to spring back from their World Series and win the division. I know the Yankees made all those big improvements, but they're getting old. Average age is over 30 on the team right now. They have experience, but I don't think with all that age, I don't think they're going to have that depth and keep them going through September.
They have a lot of luck in terms of injuries. They have a lot of older players, like you said, have to stay healthy and perform what they have in the past.
AL Central, Tigers.
I agree.
Easily. Even though they got rid of Prince Fielder wasn't producing the same level as he was the past years. Kind of took a downshift, and then they upgraded at their second base.
Yeah, they got Ian Kinsler, who some people think the Tigers won that trade immediately.
Yeah. That's a whole other topic altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think the Tigers are going to win that division. And now the AL East, a little bit surprised. I'm going to go with the Mariners. Here's why. They've made so many new additions. It's not like these people are going to be one and done. They're going to produce. They got a new manager. Everything's new. I think they're going to have a lot of chemistry there, especially with King Felix and that rotation they have. One of the best in the league, wouldn't you say?
You have to say that, but we've seen time again, teams like the Angels and the Dodgers who buy these big-time players, they don't perform. We saw the Angels a couple years ago spend millions of dollars on Pujols and Hamilton, and it didn't work out.
I feel like when the Mariners bought this year with Cano, Hart, they were filling specific holes that they needed to fill. the other teams like the Toronto Blue Jays, the Angels, the Marlins, they were just buying to buy.
They definitely got better. It's just I think it depends on if they can gel together and play well. I'm thinking the Angels actually. I kind of bashed them a little bit ago, but they definitely got better last year, and I think they're going to improve each and every year.
Well, we'll have to wait and see then. So now let's switch our topics over to the NBA. With this week and the NBA, with the NBA All-Star Game coming in, we're going to turn to our NBA analyst, Joel Norman.
Boo. Thank you. Boo.
Welcome, Joel.
Thank
Sorry
you.
you got the boost.
It happens. You know, a lot of people don't really like the NBA, but frankly, I just love it. This is one of my favorite times, the All-Star break.
So what do you like most about the All-Star break then?
Oh boy. I mean, the All-Star game is pretty fun because there's not a lot on the line. You just gotta watch a lot of guys play. I mean, I love seeing a lot of slam dunks, and that's pretty cool to see. I mean, the guys, there's not a lot of defense, and I think you need a game like that every year. But my favorite part of All-Star weekend, without a doubt, the dunk contest.
Yeah, speaking of the dunk contest, the contestants this year is John Wall, Paul George, Terrence Ross, Harrison Barnes, Damian Lillard, and Ben McLemore.
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna win that?
I'm not really sure. I like the contestants this year a lot. I thought Terrence Ross last year, I mean, he had some nice dunks, but the last few competitions, I think since 2011, they've kind of been off of it. You know, the NBA needs big names again.
Yeah.
They always talk about when to go back to '88, one similar to that when they had Wilkins, had Dominique and MJ going on. You had those tight ones like that, or you had Spud Webb being Dominique Wilkins. You need the big names. And I think they did really well this year.
Yeah, I think they would love to have players like LeBron James.
Yeah,
Big
LeBron
name.
doesn't want to. I don't know why. I think at his age he's afraid of. I think he's afraid of doing something too much. He's gonna get hurt. Maybe he feels like it's other players' turns. But either way, I like the contestants. I like having John Wall, Paul George, and Damian Lillard.
And the problem with the contestants this year is, for the average sports fan that maybe doesn't follow NBA that much, none of these names really pop out like LeBron or Kobe or.
Yeah, I mean, Paul George is definitely an up-and-coming superstar, as we all saw last year. He stepped in insanely well for Danny Granger, and arguably you could say he's become a better player than Granger. And putting him in the dunk contest is great. He was in it, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago, but he wasn't as big of a name. I think he's gonna win it this year. I don't know why, but I think he's got some jams in store for us.
It'll be a good show.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So what's your prediction on the actual All-Star Game itself?
The All-Star game, it almost doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? It's more just fun to watch. I think I usually go with the East. I don't know why, but I've always been an East fan.
East kind of guy.
I always like the East. I'm not sure what it was.
Now, what's your view on the All-Star Game in general? It's kind of in the past couple of years has gone like a street kind of game.
yeah, I mentioned that. Not much defense, but it's kind of like I said. It's great to just have a game where the guys can go out there and they kind of just play.
Just have
It's fun. You know, you see, see how I can top that dunk or top that, move or something. It's neat to see the guys do that. I think they like that. I think the guys like to watch it too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think fans prefer a little bit more competitive, but I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah,
And it shouldn't change.
Do you think they're going to have the same problem as the NFL did with their All-Star Game?
I don't think so, because the NBA All-Star Saturday with all the competitions, that's done so well, especially with the success of the dunk contest, that's going to draw enough people to say, oh hey, I'll check out the All-Star game because this guy's playing it tomorrow night. I think the All-Star game is always going to succeed. In the NFL, they don't have a skills competition, and I don't think it would work as well in the NFL. It's not as good of a sport to try that with. But basketball, they've done a real good job.
Yeah, the West, for the East at least, the starting lineup is Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and LeBron James. For the West, Kobe, Stephon Curry, Durant, Blake Griffin, and Kevin Love. But Kobe Bryant isn't going to be playing, obviously.
Definitely not.
Who do you think is going to replace him on the starting lineup?
I think at first look, most people will say that James Harden will, and I would say the exact same thing. But you can honestly make a case for Damian Lillard. He's been a heck of a reason why the Trailblazers have turned around. I think his stats aren't quite there yet.
In fact, Damian Lillard is going to be participating in every competition in the All-Star weekend. How do you feel about
It
that?
is pretty crazy having him in the Rising Stars game on Friday, and you put him in slam dunk, skills, and
Three-point contest.
I think he's in that team one that they always do. They always bring an the WNBA player and an NBA legend. I believe he's in that. I can't remember that one, but and then he'll be in the All-Star game. I think that's great. I think it's really cool to get to see a guy go out. I think he wants to be active. I mean, I'm sure he's watched all this stuff before. I think it's pretty cool. But then on another note, you got to look at it and you got to say, is that what you're supposed to be doing on All-Star Weekend? Because it's supposed to be a little bit of a break. You get a weekend off. Time to relax. You get an easy game on Sunday if you're playing it.
Now,
I'm not sure.
Now, when you compare the two sides, that kid in him and really want to go compete, and then the ones where he has to take the break, which side wins in your mind?
I think the eager kid because he's still a younger player. You
Yeah,
got
he's
him.
sophomore.
He's got young legs still. A lot of these guys are going to get up there and they can't do as much. And you want to see guys before they get started. I think Damian Lillard is on his way to being successful, like very, very successful NBA player. He might have a title in his future. I don't know if it's in Portland or not, but hopefully it
Do you
is.
see him starting an All-Star game in the future?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So far, stats this season is 20.7 points per game and 5.7 assists per game.
Yeah, he's kind of one of the new types of point guards. There's not as much flashy Steve Nash type. Steve Nash was the last of like a dying breed, I'd say. But I mean, the new NBA point guards, it's a lot more scoring. They've been scoring for a while. That's been known. There's not as much passing.
It's not this. Yeah, it's less of a game
You
management.
first really
position.
saw it with I think Allen Iverson, but now you really see it with these guys. These guys are looking to lead their teams in more ways than just assist. So it's good to see that. I think Damian Lillard's future's real bright.
Well, thank you very much, Joel.
Absolutely.
And I think that concludes our video series for today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful year.
Thanks for watching.